Welcome, everyone.
No Strings Podcast.
I'm your host, Class. And this is my co-host,
Mr. J. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, we back at it again. And today, we decided we're going to talk about Kong versus Godzilla.
Yep. Another big movie review.
So,
literally.
Yeah, I mean, let's. I'm gonna be realistic. I've seen. I barely remember Skull Island. I think I fell asleep watching that one.
I actually didn't
with Samuel L. Jackson.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that one was. And then there's the Peter Jackson version, which is Kong, and that's like hours of footage with Jack Black. It's like, whew, it's a long movie. And
I've seen some of that.
Yeah, it's more of a emotional story than it is kind of like action pack. I want to say.
No, it tries to emotionally get you to connect with Kong, and then just like a lot of the dudes were just like, "Can you just have him go on the Empire State Building and just start fighting already? Can we just fast forward?"
Yeah, and that's the thing. And Godzilla, I mean, the newest or the other versions that came out are connected now. There's the Godzilla with Bryan Cranston, and there's another Godzilla.
Yeah,
King of Monsters, I think it's called.
The Godzilla that you love so much.
Oh, the one with
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, and then there's another one, the '90s one, which I'm not even gonna reference.
Oh yeah,
that
one's like completely like not rebranded.
It's almost
rebooted.
It's almost like it was dirt you found on the floor and somebody tried to sweep it under a carpet.
You know what's funny? I thought that movie was so cool when it first came out, but then like so many people ripped on it. It was like, that's not Godzilla. It's just like, all right, dude. Good God. It's like, that's a terrible mistake we made in the 90s. It's like, oh, okay.
But I mean, to give it a chance to redo it again, and Godzilla, it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm really disappointed Bryan Cranston wasn't in the original Godzilla trailer. I mean, it was in the trailer as a misleading, he's gonna be there all the way. But he wasn't.
He thought Bryan Cranston was gonna be featured throughout the movie.
But he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a lie. False advertising.
He was in like what, the first hour?
Yeah, he was like the first, I don't even think first hour, first 45 minutes of the movie or something.
Okay, maybe I overshot.
Yeah, but you're right. He was barely in the movie, and then all of it was on Aaron Johnson, I think. His name was Aaron Johnson.
I remember
the guy who played Kick-Ass.
Yeah, I remember him, Bryan Cranston not being, or eliminated, whatever.
Which is dumb. Then why not just focus solely on Aaron Johnson's character in the trailer than to even mention Bryan Cranston so much? You should have just shown Bryan Cranston with like one little liner and that's it.
Yeah.
And then all focused on him. But you guys didn't do that, did you?
He did seem to be the main character, which was a little misleading, and then you find out it's the other guy.
Yeah, they try to twist it. It's like you obviously are trying to take the coattails of his success from the Breaking Bad franchise and use his headliner actor star name in order to get people to come sit down.
They wanted to use his name.
That's what it was.
It's like, oh, hey, Bryan Cranston's in this movie. Come see this movie. Godzilla, Bryan Cranston. It's got to be good, right? Bryan Cranston's in it.
Yeah, it's got to be, and it wasn't. Actually not. But now the new ones that came out, the Monster one I haven't seen. The Skull Island one I did see, but I fell asleep on. That one was not that great in my point of view. If I fall asleep in a movie, sometimes it's not because it's terrible. It's just because I'm tired. But for that sense, it probably was because it was pretty boring. But this new adaptation,
This was a guy movie.
This is a total guy movie.
Like
there's no hope for women to watch this movie and think, I can see something potential in here. No,
this is a total dude movie.
This is a total guy movie. I mean, if you like seeing, maybe you're a girl who likes seeing things getting destroyed, buildings and monsters fighting. Hey, this is your movie, girl.
It's just two big monsters. They don't like each other and they fight. Yeah, that's really it in a nutshell. Do I have a complaint? No, I liked it. I would dare to say... I get tired
of this added characters, though, bro. I get tired of it.
I dare to say I loved it.
Whoa.
Almost.
You gotta explain it to me, because I'm gonna tell you my point of view. This movie...
Yeah, the added characters things, I get what you're saying. But that was one of the key things that people told me to get me to be interested in. They're like, remember how in the other movies where it was always like focused on a main human character? I'm like, yeah. They're like, they don't do that in this movie. I was like, oh. So it's solely focused on Godzilla and Kong. They're like, yeah. And there you go.
But that's not true.
It is. but it is, but it's not.
Dude, they had 3 side stories.
Yeah, but it wasn't focused on them.
Yeah, I know it wasn't like solely the story on them, but the fact that these characters were even remotely needing to be a narrative and a movie about monsters, it should have just been, to me, okay, why not just give credit where credit is due? Godzilla himself could make a menacing story without any added characters. Mm-hmm. King Kong, he is a character himself with all his personalities, could do without anyone else need to be added into story. What I loved about the movie was Kong's narrative, like the whole dimension going into another universe, and then the fact that like he was kind of like figuring out his like from where he's from and his heritage and everything like that, and figuring out keys. That was, to me, the most interesting thing about the movie.
Yeah, he's trying to find more of his kind.
Yeah, and it wasn't about... And I didn't care what the people were saying in the background. I was just more in tune with the idea of what Kong was about. I actually thought that was a great concept. It wasn't about Kong was just this big dude who was left alone, or who's all alone. He fights big monsters, and that's it. No, they decided, hey, he has a background. He has ancestors. Yeah. He comes from this, and look, this is his world, and yada, yada. Oh, cool. Godzilla, I would have loved that too. They could have brought Godzilla and his story into it, you know? Put those two together, and then those two would have collided at some point. It would have been great. Like how Godzilla destroyed his family's like home. They didn't need added characters for that. They just needed Godzilla to be pissed off to hit that home, and then Kong to be like, mother.
The problem is they add those little characters to make them more like, oh, hey, there's this little character. That's their little buddy. It makes them, redeemable?
Yeah.
It's just like, it makes you relate to them more.
But then you're going to do that, bring real big headliners. Instead of doing that 5-second Bryan Cranston thing, we actually had Bryan Cranston drag along the whole movie. Yeah. It would have been great.
He doesn't need to be a big hit, because, they weren't featured that much throughout the movie.
No, but look, I'm talking about action star budget characters. If you can get Chris Pratt to play in... what do you call Jurassic World, okay? Uh-huh. Or you can get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to play in a Fast and the Furious franchise. Come on. There's a possibility of putting a character out there that they could have brought an actor. Maybe an actor who hasn't been played in a movie in a while. Get him to get a chance at an action role.
I wouldn't, just because it takes away from Godzilla and Kong, and then that's really where it's supposed to be. They still had big names in the movie for their other side characters, but like, they knew. They're like, all right, and this is about Kong and Godzilla. It's not about me, so I'm going to be a side character, and I'm going to be the psychologist or whatever, and I'm going to be the army guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming back, whatever. But just like, it focused on where it should have, which was Godzilla and Kong, and they're fighting. It's like, you find out later why they're fighting and why this is happening, and it's like, okay, explain that throughout the story, but all you need to know is they're going to fight.
But that's the thing, like, I feel like you didn't even need the side characters for that. You could have gone Kong to found the trail, seen all these things. The only difference is that
filler.
They can't talk.
Look, if you just had it about Kong and Godzilla, the movie would have been way shorter.
Nah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right on that, yeah.
The movie would have been way shorter.
Yeah, the actors are a filler, I see that. Yeah, because, but that's the thing, man, I just don't know. Like, the movie itself...
It needs a human element to it, you know?
Yeah. And this movie has references from the other classics, and I'll give it credit for that. Like, if you're a huge Kong fan or you're a huge Godzilla fan, you might see some of these things in the movie that are like Easter eggs or a little tip to the hat to the original movies.
You definitely see characters from both of their solo movies.
Yes,
like from Godzilla, you see Emily Brown.
Yeah, I believe she was
the girl who's in Stranger Things. She was in Godzilla, and basically now she makes her way into this movie. And then there was some characters that were from the King Kong or the Skull Island who are now in this movie, and it's all coming together.
Yeah, which is good. Like, it's good that they're trying to collide the characters or collide the story together. Plus, the fight was great. Yeah, I like the fight sequence. It was not bad. I love the fact that there was rounds. It wasn't just one huge fight. It was like one round this, one round that. It was like...
In all, they fight about, 3 times? 2, 3?
Yeah, I want to say 3 times. Like, one in the
first fight was unfair. Yeah. The first fight was totally unfair.
Yeah.
Godzilla had a totally unfair advantage, and I thought he was He's a cheater.
Yeah.
But
and then the second round there's another round, and then there's a final round.
yeah.
But the thing, okay, here's another thing I didn't like. Okay, this might be a spoiler to some people, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. The other thing is that
I'm trying real hard not to.
There's a formula from Dawn of Justice that is adapted to this film, which is first it's about Batman and Superman fighting each other, and then it's not about Batman and Superman fighting each other. I don't like that. I don't like how they do first. They make the headlines. This is a versus movie, and then they go, okay, now we're gonna remember Freddy.
We're gonna work together.
Now, yeah, Freddy versus Jason. It was about Freddy versus Jason,
and they stuck to that.
Yeah, they stuck to it. It wasn't like, oh, we have a new person, the humans, to fight. It's like none of that. But in this one, they did some formula like that.
Both in this movie and Dawn of Justice, a new villain was presented to where they had to work together and defeat. That's what you're getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't like that concept because I don't. It's the movie. It ruins the movie. Then why?
It takes it off track of what was shown.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
It made it seem like there was going to be, out of the two opponents, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a clear, decisive winner.
Winner, loser.
One of them's going to, one of them's not going to make it.
And it's going to be it's going to end with a defeat. That's it. That's how it's supposed to end. One of the characters in the main headline are going to lose. That's the concept of versus. But instead, you guys go versus and say, well, now that they got that out of the way, here's another character for them to go against. Like, no, put another.
They're going to work as a team.
Put a sequel. Add that to that sequel. Put a versus with them joining together and make the hype on that. But don't add it. Don't add it last minute. Be like, okay, this is what the movie's about, and then we're just gonna add this for fun.
To be fair, now this is totally my fault. I was on Instagram or it's one of those social media sites, and I had seen the picture.
What picture?
Of the last fight. I won't say what it was because then I kind of spoiled it for you. But I basically spoiled it for myself, and I kind of knew how the movie was going to end. So I kind of seen that coming.
No, really?
I spoiled it for myself.
Oh, that's a bummer, dude.
I don't know if I was following somebody's movie page or something. I just remember seeing, like, King Kong and Godzilla, and then I saw the other thing, and I was just like, is that what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the fact that they're trying to add this as like a secretive thing that came out of nowhere. It's like, look, guys, I don't know if you put it in the trailers. I didn't see the trailers. All I needed to see was, besides that, I don't really watch these type of movies because I know that they're going to be ridiculous.
I try not to watch trailers anymore, honestly.
Yeah, because they're fleeting. They're going down. They're not really doing.
They give the whole movie away.
Yeah, it's no longer giving you just a little snippet. It's kind of giving you the whole essence of the movie. Like you could almost tell the storyline based on the trailers.
I don't remember what movie it was. I really need to look this up, especially for this podcast. But there was a movie I seen. And I seen the trailer for it, and then I seen the movie, and I was just like, I basically seen the whole movie throughout watching the trailer.
Yeah, I remember seeing something like that too. Like if you watch a trailer and you see it, and then it just explains the entire movie through the trailer, so you didn't even have to waste your time going through the whole dance. You know, you actually already seen the movie through the trailer.
You basically shortened. You stuffed 2.5 hours into 2 minutes.
Yeah, you already made it so simple enough that now you.
I don't need to watch the movie.
That's why, like, it already makes the movie fail. If your trailer already gives all that to its teeth
for some reason, I think I want to say it was Batman versus Superman.
Ah, you know what? You're right.
I think it was.
I think it might have been that, bro. You're right.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I do recall because look, I seen Dawn of Justice a couple times, maybe twice in theaters. I seen it once, was underwhelmed, and then I decided to give it one more chance. It was still underwhelmed. And then I remember thinking back to the trailer and was just like, I didn't even need to watch this. Like, I could have just watched the trailer and been cool. Like, I seen everything. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When trailers give so much away, it really is disappointing. But as far as this movie, if you're a fan of monsters, this is going to be the movie to watch. Don't expect a great narrative, but I mean, if you want to see characters collide and movies, side characters collide, this does bring it together. Two big monsters, they fight, they cause a lot of destruction. Yeah. A lot of stuff gets broken. Yeah. And a lot of people get stepped on.
I'm a little surprised that this is like the gory version of it. Like I thought they were gonna make this one PG-13, to be honest.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. But like, I feel like if you're looking for the audience to get hyped on this movie, it's not the older audience. Like I feel like if the older audience, yeah, maybe we have a nostalgia for it, but you also want to get the younger audience into the Godzilla realm or the King Kong realm, especially if you're going to continue making these franchises. And I know you guys are going to continue making them.
The problem is with the newer generation, all they know from Kong and Godzilla is the newer adaptations.
Yeah, that's why. Like I feel like that they were. That's why if they saw the recent ones, I feel like they would have wanted to see this one in theaters. Or wherever you can see it on HBO Max or whatever, you can't see it on streaming live.
Stay home, people.
But like wherever you
6 feet
watching these movies, like I feel like this is where the audience of PG-13 is where you want to get your fan base, because you want to get the younger crowd hooked into the realm, so that way they can continue watching these. Because I know you guys are gonna make more. This isn't the end of Godzilla. This isn't the end of Kong. You guys are gonna add some more. And maybe they're going to suck more, or maybe they're going to get better. Who the heck knows? How can you make a giant monster an interesting movie? I have no idea. I mean, you can make it an interesting video game.
That's why they try to add human characters.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what? You're right. I could see that being one of the issues, or one of the priorities. Like, you can't get into the whole monster story, and you're obviously going to poke holes at it. So it's good to add characters that may not mean anything to the whole story, but at least they're there to get us to the journey and the road to the main event, which is Kong throwing down with the biggest beast ever, Godzilla. And we won't give away who wins and who loses, but it's good. I think if you don't get involved in the story and you just get involved in the action sequence, it's fun to watch two big old things break things and fight each other. It's epic.
It was a total dude moment.
Otherwise, it's one of those movies where you can take it or leave it. It's not like I recommend you have to go see this movie. If you're a guy and you want to see a ridiculous movie with action-packed stuff, this is your movie. This is right in your alley. Or if you're a girl or a woman who likes that too, hey, it's in your alley as well. But as far as is it a movie you're missing out on? Nah.
Does it have a deep story and huge plot and all this and that and deep, heartfelt, emotional characters? No, does not.
You want to get to the point, I hate to say this, but skip it and just go to the end. You'll see a lot more. But that's the thing, you don't want to skip it because you'll miss some of the action sequence and some of the parts of the scenes of the movies that are added in there that are not that bad.
Big monsters, they fight. I mean, really, what more do we need to say?
That's really not much else you can say, and there's a lot of cool added stuff in there that's fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll leave it at that note, guys. If you guys like this, please share or subscribe to the channel. As always, catch you guys later. Peace.